IDT 7062 Module 6, Adaptive Learning. So what is adaptive learning? Um, Adaptive learning is a process by which we're able to curtail or to adapt learning um, processes and learning environments based on the responses and the experience that the student is having. Conventionally, if you think about it, when many students were in school, we all had the same learning experience where you would have your teacher in the front of the class. They would explain to you the content. You would then take a test on that, and then you would move on to the next. Everyone kind of got the same experience. It didn't really matter where you scored. It didn't really matter how well or how poor you did. Eventually, we tweaked those a little bit to where we had moved into maybe different classes in K through 12, where if you could score a certain score, you would be allowed into more advanced classes, if you will. But it's still within those classes stay the same to where you would be presented with your curriculum, you would be tested on it, and then you would move on to the next. Well, what adaptive learning is that it really takes your responses and how well you scored on those tests, and then it sets up almost like a treatment, if you will, or a design to assist you in proceeding to the next lesson or the next curriculum. So something, a product that I would want to discuss is ALEKS placement. ALEKS is it's an assessment that's appropriate for placement in mathematics. So what ALEKS does is that, well, first of all, it stands for Assessment and Learning in Knowledge Spaces, is what the acronym is. But what ALEKS does is when you go into higher education, many people have different learning experiences, and while you all may have a high school diploma from your various institutions, it may not necessarily your institution, your high school that you graduated from may not have had the same teachers or the same curriculum as someone else. So when you enter in through college, you take your ALEKS placement test, and it lets you know what classes you may fit in. What deficiencies you may have gives you the ability to hone in on those deficiencies, to study up on them, to be able to maybe refresh your memory, because not everyone jumps straight from high school directly into college, or maybe not everyone jumps directly from a high-level math class from high school into college. So ALEKS tells you where your deficiencies are, tells you what you need to work on, builds you a program to allow you to work on those deficiencies, and then you can retake, and then it tells you what course you need to be enrolled in. And so that gives you a much better learning experience instead of just signing up for a class straight out of high school, going into college with a new environment, not really understanding what college is like as an 18 or even 19-year-old freshman. You may be put into a class that your peers are in, or that someone you know is going into, but they may not have the same background as you do. ALEKS allows you the ability to more closely define where you should be in that institution. ALEKS was acquired a few years ago by McGraw-Hill Education, and it has ballooned. It has grown tremendously. The University of Memphis, I believe, is one of the early adopters of ALEKS and began using it, and it was several years ago. I want to say, at least 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know the exact date, but we've been using it at the University of Memphis for quite a while, and I believe it has helped with people and their placement there as well. So that is my quick presentation on adaptive learning and how it differs from the conventional learning methods, and about ALEKS learning and the takes that it is using with adaptive learning and helping us to take better classes and classes that we would probably do better in, as opposed to getting in class that we're maybe over our head, getting frustrated, potentially even leaving higher education.